Hey, what's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, but today I'm starting coverage on another film festival, the 2021 GenreBlast Film Festival, which is based at the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema in Winchester, Virginia, during Labor Day weekend from September 2nd to the 5th. Today I'm talking about Blank. Blank focuses on an author who is suffering major writer's block and decides that a little rest and relaxation will help her complete her book. Her choice of vacation is a smart resort, fully automated and artificial intelligence, complete with a helpful servant robot, but when malware is detected in the system, she suddenly finds herself imprisoned in the house, forced to finish her book, or else. Covering film festivals is an entirely different kind of world. There is no expectations and very little knowledge of what you're going to be getting into before starting one. Blank is a movie that I find intriguing, seeing myself as a bit of a writer myself, so I know writer's block, but that's besides the point. This film has a few themes going on that I think are approached with an interesting direction. For instance, this obviously takes place in the nearby future where everything is automated, since this is a fully smart house and literally everything in it you depend on for your sanity. If something doesn't work, you're in trouble. And once you lose the upper hand, you're still gonna have to depend on that automation, only now it has control over you, and you have no other choice but to do its bidding. Instead of just, going the normal AI becomes evil and turns on you route, which it could have easily done that, it went the less than traveled path of malfunction instead, which is a lot more believable. The last time a movie did this, that I can recall, was in the remake to Chucky, where it wasn't a possessed doll, it was a smart device that malfunctioned. It was not evil. It just was a really unfortunate broken toy. Same thing here, the machines in this smart house are not being evil. They're just broken. And that's making it incredibly hard for our main character to retain her sanity or do her work. It's a vicious cycle, which helps the thrills of the film stay alive, and because the entire thing takes place in just one spot, that helps with production design, as our smart house is essentially a character in the film as well. Let's also not forget about the editing of the film, which did a pretty good job with mirroring when it came down to what was happening in this smart house and what happened in this author's past with her mother, which is coincidentally also the story that she's struggling to write. It's kind of a subtle aspect, but I do like what they were able to do with it. Wayne Brady is also in the film as sort of the head of the program, if you will. He's also a program and a hologram, and I like seeing him in a movie. I do. And there's an aspect to his character that works very, very well for Blank, but I can't help but feel like he called in the performance. I can just see him in a big movie studio in front of a green screen reading lines, and that's it. That's his entire role. Never physically interacting with anybody else, and you can kind of tell. So my feelings on his character are bittersweet at best, and as far as negatives go, I have to admit a lot of the stuff going on in this author's past with her mother, while it is important to the narrative overall, I couldn't really get into it, nor care that much about it. Towards the end of the film, it had a lot of interesting mirroring, editing, and everything, but that story specifically, it was just not anything crazy for me. And I constantly felt like that part could have been done better. Let's go ahead and break down my final score. From an unbiased technical vantage point, this film is made pretty well. Like I said, whenever you have a film that has a setting that's essentially a character in and of itself, the people behind the scenes typically know what they're doing. So, good visuals, and again, when it came down to mirroring aspects, the editing and the writing worked out pretty well. I would also say some of the performances were pretty great, especially because there was really only 3 actors that I can think of that even showed up in the movie, which is a very low number that typically means actors had to do that much more of a good job selling their emotions, and I think they did a pretty good job there. Overall, my unbiased score is 76%. What about my biased score, or just how I felt about it overall? Well, that's just the thing. My biggest problem with the movie is probably just the fact that I don't really care to see it again. The stuff with the author's mom felt fine, but I thought that they could have done something better with that than what we got. No, it's fine. This score is 58%. When we combine the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 67%, 67 out of 100 possible stars, or a C+ letter grade. Have you guys seen Blank? If so, leave your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. I'm curious on seeing what we agree on and what we don't. If you haven't seen it yet, are you looking forward to it? And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out!
Dave examines movies. We We just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the